Hi, welcome to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Maria Andrea, and today I want to share my favorite things of the summer 2023. Let's get started. So, I've broken this list down into different categories, so it's not all bookish content, but it's just because I love seasonal reading. I love reflecting on a season, and as we're seeing the end of summer and starting to go into the fall season, I just really wanted to pay an homage to summer and recap my favorite things from summer 2023. So the sections are the categories that I've created are books, podcasts, tea, I love tea, food, of course, board game, clothing, color, and music. So we'll start with books. My first favorite thing of the summer was discovering Persuasion. And I do have to say that, in a way, this is also just a tribute to Janelle from Too Fond of Books, a booktuber content creator. I learned of her passing and I participated in the Janelle-a-thon in tribute to her and her influence on BookTube, and just a way of grieving and celebrating a life. And so her favorite book was her favorite Jane Austen book, I think, was Persuasion. And for Jane Austen July and the Janelle-a-thon event, I picked up Persuasion and I absolutely loved it. Loved it. I listened to it on audio and immediately I thought, I need to listen to this again. So I downloaded a different narrator and a different version. And I I want to pick it up in paper. Like, I want an annotated one because I have the annotated Pride and Prejudice and I want the annotated Persuasion. I've watched the new movie that came out and don't want to get ahead of myself, but I didn't put movies on here. I watched the adaptation that just came out this year. And this is an unpopular opinion because I don't think it's gotten the praise that maybe it was hopefully meant to get, but I'm a fan. I loved the adaptation. Um, so yeah, I loved the book and I love the adaptation. Another book that I picked up in the spring, but I've been reading through it in the summer is this one, Tiny Nightmares. I love this little book. It's mini horror stories, like teeny tiny bite-sized horror stories. Love this. This is a great book. I keep it in my car whenever I'm somewhere and I need to, like, maybe I'm in line or need just a few minutes, need to, like, kind of a dose of patience. Like, when I need to have just a little bit of extra patience with something, I'll pick this up and it'll get me through a little, like, 5-minute wait. It's really great. Love the stories. I've discovered a new favorite author because of this. I am a huge fan now of Hilary Leichter. She has a story in here, Doggy Dog World. OMG. I finished the story and I was messaging coworkers asking, have you, like, read this story? Heard of this book? This is definitely a little treasure for me. So, Tiny Nightmares, edited by Lincoln Michel and Nadxieli Nieto. And the subheading is, or the subtitle is Very Short Tales of Horror, with news stories from Samantha Hunt, Jack Jemk, Stephen Graham Jones, Ryan Amilcar Scott, and more. And if you're interested in blurbs, it's blurbed by Carmen Maria Machado, author of Her Body and Other Parties, Benjamin Percy, author of Suicide Wits, and Helen Phillips, author of Need. It's published by Catapult. And it's a great little collection. So I discovered Hilary Leichter as a favorite author, and immediately I looked her up, wanted to know what all she's written, and found this little gem. So this is Temporary by Hilary Leichter, and I love this. I read it. I listened to the audio. I read it in print. I love this book. It is absurdist. It is fun. It is funny. It is zany. If you just, it's satirical. It's hilarious. If you're just into reading something fun, if you like satire, um, if you like a little dose of absurd fiction in your fiction, absurdity in your fiction, this is a great one. It's great. It got me. There's a part in the book where she goes to work on a pirate ship. So she's working for an agency, like temporary worker. So she gets put in different jobs and like gets different assignments. And so she went up for the assignment. So she gets us to go work on a pirate ship. And for like a week or two this summer, I was obsessed with pirate ships. And um, anyway, I was like dreaming pirate ships. I was looking up books about pirate ships. It was just a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed this book. Definitely recommend if you're into something not too serious, not too. I mean, it's literary, but it's fun. I feel like it's just a fun literary read. It's a joy. And Hilary Leichter, published a new book, came out this summer, called Terrace Story. I did pick it up, but it's at the bottom of my shelf. It's under like the big stack of books. Should have gotten it. This one, Terrace Story. So this came out, and this came out this summer, and I haven't read it yet. It's on my nightstand. It's what I hope to read soon. I'm really excited. Like I said, she's a new favorite author. Discovered her this summer. Can't wait to read it. The book is blurbed by Jessamine Chan, author of The School for Good Mothers, Hernan Diaz, Pulitzer Prize-winning author of Trust, and Diane Cook, Booker Prize shortlisted author of The New Wilderness. Hernan Diaz says, Hilary Leichter, one of our most original novelists, amazes us again with a beautifully unclassifiable novel. Step out onto the terrace where space and time, cause and effect, and fiction and reality have been redefined and gorgeously subverted. Terrace Story isn't a novel you merely read, it's a book you inhabit. So, looking forward to this. And I also have a favorite author, Leesa Cross-Smith. She's the author of Whiskey and Ribbons. Love that book. And she has published several books since Whiskey and Ribbons, and I have most of them. I think I still have one I haven't gotten, but her new release this year was Goodbye, Earl. And it's right here. I haven't read it yet, but this is one of the books I had to buy this summer. And there go my books. So I'm looking forward to it. I had hoped to get to it this summer, but I just didn't get to it. But I'm really excited, and she's someone I follow, and I really love her writing. So I'm happy to support her and follow her books. I also was out on the lookout this year for like new releases I was really excited about. I put a couple of them on here. I was also really excited about Vampires of el Norte by Isabel Canas. Um, and I did pick that one up. Okay. I did pick this one up too. And Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I did pick that one up as well, and it's a book I hope to read in the fall. Warrior Girl Unearthed by Angeline Boulley. I also picked that one up, and I haven't read it yet. So, but those were new releases I was really excited to get to. Another new release I was really excited about this summer that I didn't get to pick up yet. I haven't purchased it, and I haven't obviously read it, but it's Silver Nitrate by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Those are like my favorite new releases that I was excited about this summer. Another book I did read wasn't a new release, but it's on my list of favorites is They Call Me Guero by David Bowles. I really love that book. I feel like it's a gem of a book, and I think it's beautifully written. It's written poems, so it's a collection of poems. It's really, really good. Highly recommend. I read that one for a challenge that I set for myself to read locally, and David Bowles is a local to me author, so I picked up his book during that reading challenge that I set for myself, and I really love it. I'm glad I discovered a new local to me author. Also, a book I started this summer. I haven't finished it yet, but I am reading. And where is it? Crime and Punishment. So, Crime and Punishment, this is by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And this is a new translation by Richard Pevier and Larissa Volokonsky. So I decided to pick Crime and Punishment up this summer. I started reading it using the Serial app, and I purchased this new translation just so that I could. I was really intimidated by Crime and Punishment, and I wanted to have like another translation to kind of go to if I needed to, or just for maybe a close reading. So I'm still working my way through it. One thing I must say I really love about this edition, well, I love the fact that it's a paperback. I love a paperback. And I also love that at the beginning of the book, it has a translator's note. And the translator gives a pronunciation guide. So I really appreciated that part. It explains the names of the characters. I think Russian names are really complicated and intimidating. I don't know how to pronounce them, and I don't know where the accents go. Sometimes it's really difficult to follow the names, and you can easily get lost with them. So I really like this little translator's note that explains what the Russian names are, how to understand them, how to pronounce them. And it sets up the stage for like, okay, this is where we're at. This is the setting. These are the characters. So I really, really like having this to like go to while I'm reading the serial version. And another thing I was really excited this year is to finally finish the Neapolitan novels by Elena Ferrante. So I finished the series. This is the 4th book, and I finished it this year. So that series, the Neapolitan novels, I have been listening to them on audio in Spanish. I really love the Spanish narrator. I think she's amazing. I I started with My Brilliant Friend, and I went back and forth between the English and the Spanish. I really loved the Spanish translation better than the English. I did buy the books in English because these are the books that are available to me in the States. I haven't found the Spanish books. I know that they are available online, but I wanted to buy them as a set, and then I just haven't gotten myself to make that purchase because I don't know that I absolutely need to have them. I just started collecting these. I like these covers. I know people don't like the covers, but I like the covers. I think that they're um, iconic. I like them. So I've been collecting, and this is a Europa edition. I love the Europa edition of books because they're paperback and they have these French flaps. So in terms of books that I like what they look like and what they feel like, I ended up collecting the series. So finished this one, listened to it. This is maybe I want to say this is my second favorite. I really like My Brilliant Friend, and then I think this maybe would be my second favorite in the series. Um, I like book 2 and 3 too, but anyway, I won't go in depth into the series. But I really enjoyed book 4, and so it's definitely I felt like it was a good way to end the series. So I enjoyed it. Okay, moving on to podcasts. The podcasts that I've discovered this summer or really gotten into this summer or really like connected with the summer are the One Recipe. In the One Recipe, the host will interview one person and they will ask them to share the one recipe that is their go-to recipe. That, either for comfort or for sharing or, like what is the one recipe that like you can do and you can do well and you can share and you can like you love that means something to you. So they'll talk about like what is that one recipe. And there was this one episode where they talked about a salad, and I was really into salads, as you'll see as I'll talk about with food. I was really into salads, and I actually made it the summer of salads this year. So all summer long, I was looking for new salad recipes and trying out different salads. So I got that one idea about a salad. It was like a Doritos taco salad. Um, I I never had I've had taco salads, but I hadn't had like it with that kind of dressing or that way of doing it. So I tried it out. It was good. It's really good. Um, so yeah, it was a good salad. So I liked it. I've also really have been enjoying desert island dishes. In Desert Island Dishes, the host of that show has two like they have like the long form interviews where they'll interview someone and they'll tell them like, okay, pick 7 dishes, and then she'll ask questions about like, what is the one dish that reminds you of your childhood? What is the one dish that you first learned to cook on your own? And like different questions like that. So what are the 7 dishes that mean something to you? And the last dish that they share is what is the one dish that you would want to eat before being cast off to a desert island. So it's really cool to see and hear what people say, and especially when you're reminiscing about those first meals that you remind you of your childhood or that you first learned to cook on your own. Um, it's good. And then she has like mini episodes where she'll interview one guest and they'll talk about a dinner party. So like if you were to have a dinner party, who would you invite? What would you serve? What like how would you host it? And that's been fun to listen to. It always makes me think, well, who would I invite? And I've been maybe wanting to do this. Maybe I'll do a video at some point where I'll do like in theory like a dinner party with characters, like fictional characters from books, and who I would want to invite, and maybe do a little dinner party like type thing here for myself on booktube and like imagine like what it would be like to bring these characters together and have like a food that I can share with y'all. I don't know, that's just an idea I have like several ideas about who like I've been wanting to talk about certain characters and kind of like go deep into some characters and character analysis. So I might do that later once I get the hang of this booktube thing and the editing thing, and I have people that watch these videos. And if that's something that you think you would want to watch, if you would want me to talk about like a dinner party with fictional characters and who I would invite to a dinner party and what I would serve and maybe like how that would go down, I would maybe love to try to do that. But if you're interested, if you think that's a good idea and you would want to watch that, let me know. And then the other podcast that I love, it's not new to me from the summer. I've been listening to them for a while, but I just really wanted to bring it up because I feel like I've been enjoying their episodes recently a little bit more, like in the summer, and I've been kind of going back and like searching them out and like going back to like previous episodes as I'm like thinking, okay, well maybe I want to travel to a certain part. Like I guess I haven't traveled, and sometimes I get this sense of like, oh, I wish I could travel, or I want to be able to, if I can't travel in person, I would want to travel in my literature. So the podcast is a strong sense of place. They have some really great recommendations. I actually read a book this summer. I didn't put it on here, but it was definitely a really good book. It's maybe my favorite Garbagus read, and that was Joyland by Stephen King. I got that recommendation from this Strong Sense of Place podcast last year. But when I listened to it, I jotted it down. I didn't get to it last summer, so I definitely wanted to get to it this summer. So I read that for Garbagus, and it's a really good read. I have more to say about the book, but I'll leave it at that. It was a good read. I love their recommendations. A Strong Sense of Place. Listen to it. It's a good podcast. And tea. One tea that I discovered this year or this summer is Guava DNA or DNA Guava. It's a really good tea. It's made with guava leaves. I'd never had it before, so I have purchased it. I've been drinking it. It's kind of my go-to tea, especially for an iced tea. I like brewing it in the afternoons after lunch and having it as an iced tea late in the afternoon. I love iced tea, and this is a really good iced tea kind of tea. It's also good hot. I have drank it hot. It's non-caffeinated, so if you're avoiding caffeine, it's a good tea. It has some strong notes. I'm a tea drinker. I love tea. I don't usually like to put sweetener in my tea, so it's a really good tea to drink without sugar. But if you like to have sugar, you like to have sweetener, it tastes really good. So yeah, that's been my favorite go-to tea. Food, salads. My favorite food for the summer has been salads. I have tried that one recipe that I told you about from that podcast, the Doritos taco salad. I also picked up a book by David Bez called Salad Love that I heard about through Lauren in the books here on BookTube. So it's a really cool book because it gives you like a lot of salad ideas, and it shows you like breaks away the salad, like the base and the toppings, and like just how the salad is layered, how you can arrange a salad, like it'll give you like a concept of a salad. It's not a recipe book, but it's kind of like this kind of salad and how you can make it vegan or vegetarian, or like it'll give you options to make it. If it's one that has animal protein, it'll give you the option to how you can make this into like a plant-based or a vegan salad. So that's been really, really good. Forks Over Knives had a really good magazine issue this summer, and their salads in that issue are really, really good. So there was like a noodle salad. I really loved it. Really good. Okay. This summer has been the summer of like spending time with nephews. we had one of our nephews come and stay with us part of the summer, and I've been spending some time with my nephew, my little nephew, 5-year-old nephew. And so we had an 11-year-old stay with us. I've been spending time with our 5-year-old nephew. And with the 11-year-old, it was really cool because we got to try out a new board game, and I want to talk about it. So for board games, I want to say this has been my favorite board game, Camel Up. It's so much fun. It's camel racing. So when I started setting it up, we started telling him, he was like, "We're going to gamble?" I was like, "Well, yeah, because you're betting on camels. And the point of the game is to like win the bet, who's going to win the race." So it's fun. It's really fun. It's really immersive. I love the board game. It's aesthetically, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful setup. It pops up and there's like palm trees and pyramids, and it is really good. It has a really strong sense of place. You feel like you're in Morocco or, somewhere like Africa, camels and gorgeous landscape. It's fun. My clothing choices for the summer, favorite thing, white t-shirt, blue jeans. My favorite color of the season has been yellow. I got this new planner this year, Clever Fox planner in yellow. It's been perfect. I love it. Everything yellow. Yellow has been my color. And music, I listen to a lot of classical music, throwback music, but new musicians. Earlier this year, I discovered Carla Morrison, so I've been listening to her this summer. But my favorite artist this summer has been Leesa, the Bewitched album. Gorgeous album, gorgeous music. Love this album. Love this singer-songwriter. Just amazing. Bossa Nova-esque vibes with like jazz and like soft, warm, melodic tones to it. And then, of course, I've enjoyed like the Barbie soundtrack, the Blue Beetle soundtrack. Those have been fun to listen to. And another new author that I have discovered this summer is Mabe Frati. So that's been fun. She's been a fun new musician to follow. So I am running out of time. I wanted to keep this under 30 minutes, and I think I just did it. Thank you so much for watching. Those are my favorite things this summer. Comment down below. Tell me what your favorite things of summer have been. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you.